Hi, this is Ezekiel Chu, Forex trader, fund manager and coach at Asia Forex Mentor. So in this video, I'll be revealing what I do on a weekly basis, and I'll be sharing my analysis for this week, which is the 2nd of March 2015. So you can refer to this video throughout the week or the following weeks to spot for trade setups. So the analysis in this video will be my trading plan for the week and the future weeks. Right? So in my weekly analysis videos, I'll be sharing pairs that have a possible setup for the week or pairs that are worth taking note. Okay, so here's the first pair. Right, in my last series of weekly analysis, right, I've talked about this pair, the dollar Sing. Right, so the dollar Sing has just closed the monthly bar because it's March, right? It's a new bar. The bar is closed for the month of February. So what happens is it now closes, right? Just last month, right, the February bar is now closes to form a pin bar, right, and the closing is above my Bollinger Band, and which is also above my support and resistance level, which I've talked about the last week and the last previous weeks, right? So this is quite an area of a strong support level. So eventually it did broke up, so which is a good sign, right? Which is a sign, right, that possibly is going to head up further into at the next level. Initially it probably is going to stop here first at a 150 moving average. Eventually it would possibly head up to all the way to the top, but this would still take a while, right? This will still take a while, but along the way I would say it may not be an immediate uptrend, but it could be go sideways, stagger around. But this could be the possible outlook, that since now it has already broken from a strong previous resistance level, and then it has indicated that it has closed above. So let's look at the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame as well, right? Just last week it has closed to form a nice long pin bar. So we have the monthly pin bar to buy, a buying pin on the monthly, a buying pin on the weekly, which is really much a good signal. But we still do not trade on the such high time frames, right? Because it's a trade is going to take a long time to close, and the difference, let's say from entry point to, it's going to be pretty huge, 158 pips, right, to, let's say, to the bottom of the pin. So what we normally do is, since then we have now have an idea of the overall trend direction of the dollar Sing pair, so which we will now go into the lower time frame to spot for better setups to enter throughout this week itself. So what I always recommend is to trade in line with the big trend. If the big trend is telling you to go up, and if you decide to go short on the, let's say, this dollar Sing, right, you got to get out quick, because the overall trend is still going to go up. You don't expect to go for a big profit for a short-term trade to sell, or to trail on a selling trade, right? So on the other hand, I would highly recommend for you to go in line with the overall trend and to buy in line with it, because in such a manner you're trading the short-term trend in line with the overall uptrend, which has a greater probability of winning. Okay, so this is my analysis for the dollar Sing pair. So I'll be watching this pair throughout the week or next week or so to spot for good setups to buy. Alright, so the next pair is the GBP CAD. GBP CAD is also a pair that I've talked about for the last 2 weeks or so. So let's just look at the monthly time frame. Right, on the monthly time frame, it appears that it kind of formed a pin bar, and it's trying to head up. All right, it looks like it's trying to head up. Okay, so let's just go back, and then the line over here is marked by the previous heavy support level and the resistance level. So this time around it tested again, it got rejected, and it tested one more time, and this time around it looks like it did broke up. Okay, so let's look at the weekly. The weekly, on the other hand, just last week it formed a contradicting selling pin, right? A pin that is on the opposite side. So we now have two contradicting scenarios, right? A selling pin on the weekly time frame, a buying pin on the monthly time frame. When I see such a scenario, right, I will just wait for it to if there's a bar that eventually closes above this weekly selling pin above the top, then we know that the trend is going to go up. But as for now, it's still in the, I would say it's still haggling and hanging around this important support and resistance level, right? So nothing is still confirmed yet. And then let's go to the daily, right? As we can see from the daily, right, there was a pin bar, it went up, eventually it went back down, and it formed a series of small, let me just delete this, form a series of small pin bars, right? 1, 2, 3. All in all, it looks like it's trying to break up, but would it be strong enough? We still do not know, right? The overall weekly is to sell, but we have a series of dailies buying pin. So from what I feel is the market has not decided on whichever direction it's going right now, but the moment you either break down below this series of pin bars, right, it's probably going to go down, and once it's broken above the top, which is the weekly selling pin, then it's going to go up. So right now I'm going to stay on the sidelines on this because the market has probably not even decided yet. Alright, if you're going to enter on this, it's probably going to go up a while and probably may shoot down later. So I'd rather wait for it for final confirmation before entering, right, rather than take a gamble. Okay, so this is the GBP CAD analysis. Alright, next pair is the New Zealand yen, which we have talked about last week as well. Last week I mentioned that this horizontal line is a pretty strong level, which is marked by the previous lows here, right? Eventually this time around it went up, it got rejected, it came back down. However, the overall strength is still pretty strong, which we can see by these strong bullish bars over here. And I mentioned that even though it's probably going to go down a while, it ain't going to last, right? Which is why it went down. Eventually it did get stopped by my series of Bollinger Bands over here, alright, and then it went back up to break, to eventually close above it. So this is a good sign that the market has more or less broken through this important support level to make it as a nice resistance level. So since we have this, I'll be looking to probably buy. This is the daily time frame, right? I'll be looking to buy on the lower time frames for a pretty quick trade for me to buy and then get profit along the way as well. Alright, so this is the pair, the analysis for the New Zealand yen. Right, so I'll just cover these three pairs this week itself. It's not that the other pairs doesn't have trades. We still do daily trades, the hourly trades, and the 4-hour trades on the other pairs as well. But as per the overall time frame, very strong, I would say a very positive outlook. These are the three pairs that are easily, which you can more or less easily identify the overall main trend. So once you've got the overall main trend, then these are the easy picks for us to trade on the lower time frame. However, you still can trade as per your normal strategies on the lower time frame for all the other pairs, which is how you would trade as per normal. Okay, so with that being said, I look forward to seeing you next week. Alright, goodbye.